Hey there, Kylie Ansett here, and I am just coming. It's just the most cruisy Saturday afternoon here. It's very steamy, kind of, we actually had rain yesterday, and then today's just really hot. So I was actually almost dozing off on the lounge when I sat down, which I shouldn't have done. And yeah, I thought I just had this moment where I wanted to update my Facebook pictures, which I haven't done in over a year. And so I thought, yeah, okay, my personal page cover photo and my my own picture, which I'd been wanting to do for ages, but just, I don't know. So I did, and the cover photo that I've chosen, you need to go check it out. Go check it out on my personal page, because the reason that I'm making reference to this is because of what that image is. So it is, yes, my latest, about to be published book cover. Which I had done a little while ago, and I actually wanted to put it up there on Facebook, but I wasn't quite ready. Now, I'm a bit stupid because when I put the photo on, you know how you drag and reposition it, and I was like, yeah, it's just going to be that section of it. People won't even know it's a book cover. And it's like, you have a look at it, it's very vibrant, very bright and all that kind of thing. I thought, yeah, that's perfect, that's what I want for my background. So all well and good, I thought. But of course the whole image that I use comes up. If people click on it, they can see the whole image. So my reveal of my book cover has now been revealed. It is revealed, it's there, out for the world to see. Maybe a little bit ahead of time of what I thought it was going to be, but I thought this is a good opportunity to talk to you about the whole book cover journey and the different experiences that I have had, and how I ended up with that one, how I ended up with my previous ones, and I guess what my attitudes around it is. And you know, if you've heard me talk about this stuff before, it's nothing new. You probably have some idea of my attitudes around it, but I wanted to make specific reference to that cover. Go check it out. It is friggin' awesome. I am not even going to pretend, I'm not even going to pretend to be like modest about it. I'm just, you know, it's not even a humble brag, it's just a brag. It is an awesome cover. And that is going to be my point. That is my point. Okay, when you create a book, you want the cover, which is the face of your book, unless someone sits down and spends 3-4+ hours with your book, that cover is what they get to interface with. You want that to be something that you're like just incredibly proud of, that you would stand next to and go, yeah, that's mine, that's mine. So let me, oh my gosh, it's so hot in here. I am going to turn my air conditioning on because I'm just sweating away here, and it's definitely warmer than I thought it was going to be up here. It's upstairs here as well, which just means that, oh, stop that. You know, just, oh, I'll grab this as well. So, I want to tell you a little bit about some of my other cover journeys. So this was my last cover. Now, I tell you, it really did take balls, guts, I don't know, whatever, some part of the anatomy, to put myself on this cover. I actually had it designed, and I don't know, there's something on it. I had it designed at first, and it just had, you know, like a model, like, you know, like a stock image model, whatever. And I put it up, got a bit of feedback, and a lot of people were saying, oh, that chick, that model, whatever, you know, she doesn't look like someone who's 10 years older but looks 10 years younger. She looks like she's only 25. So, you know, if you're 25, you don't want to look 10 years younger, right? And I thought, you know what? What do I do here? I thought, I've got to put myself on the cover. And as soon as I thought that, I was like, I know that's right, but I also went, Oh my God, that's so like, it's so braggy, and Aussies we're renowned for being like the opposite of that. We're like really the tall poppy syndrome, where anyone who sticks their head up gets it, chopped off. Actually, I was talking to someone about that today. It's really not seen as okay to be, look at me, look at me, look at me. Perhaps a little bit unlike the American culture, where I think there's a lot more of that is encouraged, accepted, and seen. In the Australian culture, it's just like, oh, no, you don't do that. So it felt really a bit icky at first. I knew immediately that I had the thought that I had to do that. There was no question in my mind that I was going to do it. What I felt, though, was scared that the fact I was going to do it, like it didn't, it was like, oh God, here we go. Okay, this is... And I did go and get professional photos taken, because I figured, like, it's, it has to be of a certain quality, I reckon, to go on a cover. A bit better than just a home photo, and that was an experience in itself, let me tell you, getting a professional photo shoot. It was actually this amazing guy in Bondi Junction who had photographed Jermaine Greer and what's that other guy's name? Anyway, like some other Australian news reporter, George Negus, is that his name? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, and I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, like I only found that out afterwards, but anyway, it was an experience in itself. Not one I was in my comfort zone at all. I had no idea what I was doing. But the point is, the photos that came out were worthy of going on a friggin' cover. That's what I figured. And that was something I felt proud of. I could stand behind, and not because it had my image on it. That was probably the most challenging part of it, but because I was calling the book 10 Years Younger, and I was saying all these techniques will make you 10 years younger. I was like, well, I kind of got to put my money where my mouth is. There's no point putting an image of a 25-year-old model on the front of a book about techniques for being younger. That seemed really sleazy. That seemed really incongruent with my message. And then I thought, so where do I find someone who is 10 years older but looks 10 years younger? And of course, not trying to sort of brag, but people had told me that about myself. I was like, okay, well, if I put myself on the cover, then I guess I'm saying, I don't know, judge for yourself. If you think I look my age, that's cool. If you think I look younger, maybe some of these techniques are the reason. That was kind of my thought process. Now, onto my most recent book cover. Clearly going to be a whole different thing, and I certainly didn't want to have a whole sort of stable of books with myself, on them. That was definitely not the thing. 10 Years Younger felt like it, as I've just explained, needed to have me on it. But the next one, Green Smoothie Detox. Now, let me tell you about this book. And if you are interested in being on my launch team, that's going to be happening in the next few weeks. I am still in the process of incorporating the edits from the editor. So it has come back from the editor, and I'm doing that. But if you want to be on my launch team, there's going to be some amazing gifts for members of my launch team who are going to kind of help me do a few very tiny things on very specific dates. Now, let me tell you about the cover journey for that. First of all, I knew the title was Green Smoothie Detox. Now, this book is about green smoothies, but it's not. A little bit like 10 Years Younger was about 10 years younger, but actually was about something else. If you've read the book, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is the same. This is no different. So basically, of course, it's about green smoothies. Be stupid not to be, and how to detox. But what it's really about is taking control of your health. Now, I really do think that is something that I have nailed. I know how to be healthy. I know how to help other people be healthy. I know how to read my own body. I know how to, I would sooner like jump off a friggin' bridge than walk into a doctor's surgery or a hospital. And I don't hold back on all of that kind of stuff in the book. So that's that's what it's about, but it's wrapped up in a beautiful package of green smoothies, because I am a green smoothie freak. And if I took you downstairs, you could see I just went to the farmer's market this morning, and my bench is just covered in all these beautiful greens. Actually, I think I'll take a photo of it and put it up here on here. All these beautiful greens, all this beautiful organic fruit, and like, to me, that is the elixir of health. And it's as simple as that and as complex as that. So obviously I've written 35,000 words about it, so I've got a bit to say on the topic. It's not just about how to make a green smoothie, but it really is something that I have studied for 20 years. I know about health. I know how to create health. I know how to, I know what the mystery of the body. I've spent over 20 years studying the body, my body, other people's bodies. Like, I know how the messages that they give, and the complex nuances and the intricate individualness of every body. But the interpretation is something that we owe it to ourselves to do. So that's actually what this book that I'm going to be publishing very soon is about. So it's not, I'm actually tackling quite a big topic that's incredibly dear to my heart, and that I'm crazily passionate about. And anyone who even mentions, and I'm talking about like even people in the shops, let alone friends and so on, that mention to me that they have health issues, like, I'm kind of just going to jump right in and give my 2 cents worth. And not because I think I know best. Okay, maybe because I think I know best, but often because I think a lot of people are just living in fear and ignorance, and they're playing victim, and they're not owning their health and knowing that they can take control of it, and it's not a complicated thing, and it's not it shouldn't be a mystery. I mean, I know people who will spend more money maintaining the health and well-being of their car than they would their own body, and to me that's just insane. And insulting, and I mean, if your car breaks down, it's a nuisance, but if your body breaks down, and yet people kind of wait until things get to the crisis point, and then they look at taking care of it. And they've been ignoring it for the last 20 years, and you're just like, well, why? I mean, if your car was coughing and spluttering and making all these noises, you'd be looking at, what am I doing wrong here? What can I do to fix it? Anyway, that's a whole different thing. I was talking about covers, wasn't I? I was. So, what did I want to convey with this cover? Now, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on my personal profile. It's my cover image on my personal profile. But what I wanted to convey was as a feeling of vibrancy, a feeling of like, just because I feel the concepts are just like exploding. So the subtitle is actually The Drink That Will Heal Your Body and Blow Your Mind, because it to me it is like that. Like, people go, green smoothies, yeah, whatever, and it's like, if that's what you think about green smoothies, you're not doing it right, or you don't get it. And that, that was what I wanted to convey on the image. I wanted it to just, people to just see it and go, whoa, what the fuck is this about? And also for it to be beautiful and attractive, and something that was going to draw people in, obviously. So it was all that stuff I wanted to mix in. Now, I had lots of book cover designers that what would the word be, vetted. I checked out their material. I really looked pretty closely, and I was like, okay. A lot of them do fiction, and not that many do non-fiction. So I was like, look, I mean, obviously you could do it. And I spoke to a couple of ones who really did specialize in fiction, but of course I knew they could do non-fiction. I mean, like, that's not such a stretch, but I kind of felt like I'd prefer someone who was a little bit more up with the whole non-fiction area, just because I don't know. I just think that made more sense for me. Now, this particular designer that I used, again, go to my profile page. You'll see I've tagged her in the comments. Ida Fierce. I don't know, because she's from Iceland. Sava. I can't say her surname. Sorry, Ida. I'd seen a lot of her work before, and it was very cutting edge, very, very modern. You could spot her covers. They stood out. They were quality, really, really good quality. But I looked at quite a few other designers as well, and I finally settled on her because I just thought, look, of all the other designers I've looked at, she definitely has got the edge. And look, she charges accordingly, of course, as you would when you're at the top of your game, and I'd say she probably is close to that. But I'll give you a rundown of the experience of designing my cover. So I didn't have a picture in my mind. I had a feeling in my heart and I've just described that to you. If you have only just joined, you have to go back and listen to the replay of the live stream where I'm telling you what the actual feeling is that I wanted to convey with this cover. So I said that to Ivor. I emailed her, this is the feeling I want to, get across. I also shared a couple of images which were just really bright colors. It's just like, I didn't want it to look like those images, but I said, like, I want it to be really colorful like this. Anyway, she came back with her first design probably 24 hours or so later, and I looked at it and I was like, yeah, but no, the colors were all wrong, but there were some parts of it that were completely right. So I said, okay, none of these colors, but yes this and yes that. She came back again with all the colors right, and I was like, okay. As soon as that second one came back, I was like, okay, this is starting to go. I think I gave her 2 more directions where I sort of was just really, can we move the placement of this leaf and make that one a little bit bigger, and a few things like that. Go and have a look at the design, you know what I'm talking about. And, make the glass be a little bit more obvious or something like that, whatever it was. The font and the placement of the words and all that was just perfect. I mean, she's a professional. She knows exactly how to make a cover look fabulous. So that was fine. The image, as soon as so I think it basically took 3 days of to and fro, where she sort of came back to me 24 hours later for each adjustment that I had, or some of them were even quicker because they were tiny adjustments near the end. As soon as I saw that last one, like I said, maybe 3 emails later, I just went, that's it. Like, I felt it. I felt it in my heart. That's it. That's saying everything I want to say and more. So I've been sitting on that cover waiting to share it with you. Okay, so that is the experience, I guess, of working with someone who's professional, who knows what they're doing. And I get the feeling, although I hadn't asked her this, but I got the feeling that she really tuned into me. I told her a little bit about the book, but I also gave her some insight into the feeling I wanted the cover to convey. So, I guess there's a level of artistry that's involved with designing a cover. It's probably, to be honest, the more I think of it, it's probably 80% artistic and creative and 20% what's the opposite of that? Like the rules and the structure and so on. So that it was beautiful, and a beautiful experience to work with someone like that. And that's not to say that the other designers that I've worked with weren't also great, because they were, but there wasn't that same level of they just sort of got me. There was a lot more direction needed from me, which is okay, but anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to talk about my cover because I'm so excited, because I accidentally revealed it before I was meant to. So now it's out there, and I am going to reveal it in even a more official way, and I'm going to go downstairs and make myself a green smoothie, because I've just come back from the farmers markets with bags full of green leafy veggies, and they're sitting on my kitchen counter waiting for my attention. So you have a fabulous day or night or wherever you are. If you have an author friend who is working on their cover, why don't you share this live stream with them, because maybe they'll get some inspiration or get some ideas. And if you want to work with me, I have some very special coaching packages. Now I'm just opening these up only for the next little while, so it's a greatly reduced price, and this is like a package of 5 sessions. Even the single session with me is reduced, and as a coach I basically work with you to help support you at whatever stage you are at in your writing journey, because I've been there, done that. I have published 7 books so far, and I have some clue about the process of writing, getting the right idea, writing the book, editing, self-editing the book, how you find your support people to help you kind of do the final stages of the book, like the designer and so on. I can help you in the launching, the marketing, choosing titles, cover feedback, writing descriptions, writing your author profile, all that good stuff is kind of where it's where I support my people. It's where I work with my clients on all these different things. So I had a great session with someone yesterday, and we were talking about, we were talking about whether she should go through and kind of do bring another angle into her whole book, which kind of made sense, but it also meant that it was going to just take forever, which her book, she felt, had already taken forever, and she was really getting impatient with it. So I guess I supported her by giving her permission to say, you know what, it's better to have your book just out and not have to go back and redo it, because you know what happens? By the time you redo it again, that second time, by the time you finish doing that, guess what? You probably have some other idea you want to incorporate into it, and then you got to go back and do it a third time, and like that's just a merry-go-round. That's like, we call that painting the Sydney Harbour Bridge, which the Sydney Harbour Bridge is this huge suspension bridge over Sydney Harbour, and they say that it's this job of painting it's like it's metal and it's covered in rivets, and they have to keep it painted all the time. But as soon as it takes them, as long as it takes them to paint the bridge, they have to go back and start painting it again. Like, that's how long it takes. I guess maybe they only have one person who paints the bridge. I don't know. That's kind of weird if they did. And that's why as soon as that one guy, I'm just imagining there's one guy out there. I think Paul Hogan used to be a Sydney Harbour Bridge painter or something. As soon as he's finished, he's got to go back and start again. It's a never-ending task. It's like friggin' housework. Doesn't end. So getting your book out there, at a certain point, you've just got to go, you know what? It's never going to be fucking perfect. Never. I need to get it out because I'm ready to write my next book. And while I'm faffing about kind of tweaking the really, the finer points that probably only you are going to fully appreciate, you could be writing your next book. And your concepts are always going to keep changing. That is one of the reasons I really encourage speed. So what I'm saying is, I guess sometimes people need that kind of a little shove, little push, little kick up the old derriere, to be given permission to take that step. And if that is you, then you may feel that you need a coach to do that, because sometimes it's hard to do that for yourself. I'll take that role. I'll do it for you. I put my hand up right now. I will do it for you. I would love to work with you. Let me know by dropping me a PM, personal message me, or you can email me, and I will talk to you about, what this could look like. We'll see if we're going to be a good fit and what package would work best for you. At the moment, while they are at a very drastically reduced price from even their standard price, and at the end of the year, guess what? The prices are going up again. So what I have said to people is, you can buy a package now, and even if you're not ready to kind of use all of them, you can buy it at today's price, and it will lock it in. You've got 12 months to use those, and by the time 12 months goes, for sure you'll be wanting to use them, but the prices will have gone up if you go to buy it in 6 months' time or 3 months' time or whatever. Obviously, my coaching prices will have gone up, so you could be saving yourself some money there too. All right, I'm going to say au revoir, and I'm also going to say, don't forget, the world needs your story, so right now. Bye.